Welcome back to my Lunch and Learn session on Azure VM scale sets. Over the next few minutes here, we're going to focus on the configuration and deployment of Azure VM scale sets. What we're going to do is walk through the steps required to configure and deploy scale sets in the Azure portal via the Azure command line interface, which is commonly known as the Azure CLI, and via PowerShell. So let's dive right in. Deploying VM scale sets requires nothing more than an active Azure subscription. Of course, you'll also need to have the Azure CLI installed if you plan to use it for deployment or management. The same goes for PowerShell. Now, let's take a look at configuring VM scale sets in the Azure portal. The process is pretty straightforward, actually. You'll start by navigating to the Azure portal and then clicking Create a Resource. From there, you'll choose Compute and then Virtual Machine Scale Set. From there, you simply click Create, and then you'll be prompted to fill in details like the subscription, resource group, and instance details. Once you've filled in all the required fields, click Review and Create to review your settings, and then click Create to deploy the VM scale set. It's really that easy. Now, what if you prefer using the Azure CLI for deployment? Well, the Azure CLI offers a powerful way to deploy VM scale sets with just a handful of commands. You'll start by opening your command prompt and then typing in the command azvmss create. You'll need to provide parameters like the resource group, name, and image. Notice here in this command, we're creating a scale set called myvmss in our existing resource group called Production RG. We're specifying 2 instances in the set and using the Windows Server 2016 data center image. Notice also that we're adding a 2 gig data disk to our instances and a 127 gig OS disk for each. Once you've entered all the necessary information, hit enter, and then CLI will take care of the rest. It's really just as easy as using the portal, so don't let the command line stuff scare you. Now, of course, you can also create and manage scale sets using Azure PowerShell. To create a VM scale set, you'd use the new azvms command. The command that you see on your screen would create a scale set with an instance count of 2 running Windows Server 2019 Data Center Edition. So what I want you to do now is go ahead and complete the upcoming hands-on lab where you'll deploy a VM scale set using the Azure portal.